Fox News alert: President Biden addressing the country on the Supreme Court immunity ruling at any moment. We'll bring it to you as soon as the president comes out. Well, when in doubt, throw everything out there. After Biden's troubling debate performance, Democrats are now lobbing every wild attack under the sun. Anything to move the focus away from Biden and on to Donald Trump.
There are healthcare professionals who think that Trump has dementia, that his his thoughts do not go together. Not only that he just lies, he doesn't even know the truth. So if we're just talking about mental acuity, let's be fair about it.
Nice try, Nancy. Nice try. So it's Trump that has dementia, not Biden? You got to be kidding me. MSNBC's Mika Brzezinski took it one step further.
When he sounds crazy and slurs his words and talks about batteries and sharks, why aren't there calls for Trump to drop out? Where are they? A man slowed down by a cold versus a man with a cold, vile, and merciless heart.
Yeah, he was slowed down by a cold after 8 days out there at Camp David with 16 advisors watching him take that nap. All right, joining me now is Monica Crowley, former Trump Assistant Treasury Secretary and one of my personal favorites. All right, take it away, Monica. This is so absurd.
Hi, Jason. Great to be with you. Yeah, you know, if it weren't so dangerous, it would be comical and laughable what they're trying right now. They're literally throwing spaghetti at the wall because they are increasingly desperate, especially after Biden's catastrophic debate performance last week. So to claim somehow that Donald Trump is the senile one when that is patently obviously false to anyone who has eyes shows you how desperate they are. And, you know, that we have all known that the left are masters of projection, accusing Donald Trump and everybody on the other side of what they themselves are guilty of. But now what they're doing is they're patently lying about President Trump and who he is and his behavior and his record because they are trying to cover for the fact that Joe Biden is all of the things that they accuse him of, and they're trying to cover for his corruption and his feebleness.
Look, anybody who's spent serious time with President Trump, and I've been fortunate to do that, he's sharp as a tack. The guy is wicked smart. He's on his game no matter what he's doing, from the crack of dawn till late at night. It's unbelievable how much energy he has. But I want to remind you and everybody out there, remember when the left dismissed videos of Biden appearing confused and lost in the recent months and labeled them as cheap fakes, the lecture we took from the White House? Watch this.
They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith. The right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem.
What they're going to see is deep fakes, cheap fakes.
The White House is calling cheap fakes, amplified on conservative media. These are highly, highly misleading.
We're hearing about so-called cheap fakes. It's playing out on right-wing media. And all of this is to try to make the case that Biden is slipping, he's confused, and so on.
Cheap fakes. But what it is truly deceitful behavior that is not rooted in truth.
You know, the biggest problem they have with all that is the American people got to see an hour and a half of each of them, and it's crystal clear. One is clear and is sharp, and the other one, well, maybe not so much.
Yeah, you know, the imperial media certainly got their propaganda talking points, and they all went out with their marching orders and spread the big lie. Look, you have a stark contrast of back-to-back presidencies, back-to-back records of an incredibly successful presidency under President Trump in every regard, and then, of course, this historic catastrophe under Joe Biden. And then you have the two men standing next to each other last week, back-to-back. And you can see President Trump very much on top of his game, sharp as a tack, superhuman energy, versus Joe Biden, who is clearly cognitively impaired. Everybody with eyes can see it. And this is just epic gaslighting. It may have worked for the last 3.5 years. It's not working anymore.
Yeah, just roll the video, unedited. It says everything you need to know. Monica, thank you so much for joining us.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.